3 weeks before my wedding, my fiancé dropped a bomb that changed everything. We were at dinner, one of those nice Italian places downtown. The wedding planning was mostly done. Invitations sent, deposits paid, honeymoon booked. I thought we were there to finalize the seating chart. She put down her fork and said she needed to talk about something important. I've been thinking, she started, not meeting my eyes. About us. About marriage. About spending the rest of my life with one person. I waited. Some of my friends have been asking me if I'm sure. Like, actually sure. And it got me thinking, what if I'm not? What if I spend my whole life wondering what else is out there? I kept my face neutral. What are you saying? I need to explore other options. To be certain about you. About us. Otherwise, I don't think I can go through with the wedding. The restaurant noise faded into background static. I took a drink of water, buying myself 3 seconds to process what I just heard. So you want to see other people? 3 weeks before our wedding. Not see other people exactly. Just make sure this is what I want. That you're what I want. I don't want to have regrets later. I put my napkin on the table. Okay. She blinked. Okay. Yeah. Okay. If you need to explore other options to be sure about marrying me, then we shouldn't get married. Wait, that's not what I'm saying. You're twisting my words. I'm not twisting anything. You just told me you're not sure enough about us to get married without testing other options first. I heard you clearly. Her voice went up slightly. I'm just being honest about my feelings. Most people have doubts before marriage. It's normal. Doubts are normal. Wanting to date other people 3 weeks before your wedding is not. I didn't say date. I said explore. There's a difference. I almost laughed. No, there isn't. Not in any way that matters. She reached across the table for my hand. I pulled back. You're overreacting. Can we just talk about this? We are talking. And I'm not overreacting. You want to explore other options. So explore them. Marriage is off. You can't just cancel our wedding because I'm having some pre-wedding jitters. I'm not canceling anything. You did. The moment you said you needed to be with other people to be sure about me. People at nearby tables were starting to glance over. She lowered her voice. Please, let's go home and discuss this properly. You're being unreasonable. I stood up, pulled out my wallet, and dropped enough cash on the table to cover both meals. I'm being unreasonable. You literally just asked for permission to cheat on me before our wedding, and I'm the unreasonable one. That's not fair. I'm trying to be honest with you, and I'm being honest with you. If you're not sure enough about me without exploring other men first, then you're not sure enough about me. Period. Enjoy your exploration. I left her sitting there, stunned into silence. The drive home was quiet. No music, just me and my thoughts. Part of me expected anger to hit, but it didn't. What I felt was clarity. Cold, sharp clarity. She thought I'd beg. She thought I'd fight to convince her I was worth it. She thought I'd wait around while she figured out if I was good enough. She was wrong. By the time I got home, I'd already made 3 decisions. First, the wedding was done. Second, I wasn't discussing this further. Third, I was taking that job offer in Denver that I'd turned down 2 months ago for her. My phone started buzzing with texts before I even unlocked the door. I turned it off. I woke up at 6 the next morning with a clear plan. While she was at work thinking I'd cool off and apologize, I was going to dismantle our entire future together. First call was to the venue. The manager, Ruth, answered on the second ring. Hi, this is about the wedding on the 23rd. I need to cancel everything. Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that. Is everything okay? Wedding's off. What's the cancellation policy? She pulled up our contract. You'll lose the deposit, but since it's more than 2 weeks out, you won't be charged the full amount. I can process that today. Perfect. Do it. Next was the photographer, Harrison. He was more sympathetic. Man, that's tough. 3 weeks out too. You sure about this? Completely sure. All right. I can refund 70% since I haven't done any prep work yet. The rest covers administrative costs. Fair enough. Send the refund. The caterer, the florist, the DJ. One by one, I went down the list. Some were easier than others. The bakery wouldn't refund the cake deposit, but I didn't care. The transportation company was flexible. The hotel block I'd reserved just needed a phone call. By 10 in the morning, I'd canceled or modified 17 different vendors. Then I called the jeweler about the ring. I'd been smart enough to get insurance when I bought it. I need to process a claim. The engagement is off. The jeweler was professional. I'm sorry to hear that. With the insurance policy you purchased, you're covered for a full refund minus the policy cost. I'll need some paperwork. but we can have this resolved within a week. Send me whatever you need. I'll fill it out today. By noon, I'd contacted my landlord. We were on a month-to-month lease, so getting out was simple. 30 days notice, which was fine because I wasn't planning to stick around anyway. I pulled up my email and found the message from 3 months ago. The one from the company in Denver offering me a senior position. I turned it down because she didn't want to leave her job here. The email had said to reach out if my circumstances changed. My circumstances had definitely changed. I typed out a message explaining that I was now available and very interested if the position was still open. Sent it. Didn't expect a response until next week at the earliest. They replied in 40 minutes. The position was still available. They could expedite the hiring process. Could I do a video interview tomorrow? I scheduled it for 2 in the afternoon. My phone had been off all morning. I turned it back on around 1. 12 texts from her. 6 missed calls. 3 voicemails I didn't listen to. The texts started casual. Hope you slept okay. We should talk tonight. Then they got concerned. Why aren't you answering? I'm worried. By the last few, there was an edge to them. This is childish. Call me back. I replied with one message. I meant what I said. The wedding is canceled. I'm moving on. She called immediately. I declined it. She texted back. You're being insane. You can't just throw away 3 years over one conversation. I typed. You threw it away when you said you needed other men to be sure about me. I'm just respecting your decision. I never said other men. You're putting words in my mouth. You said you needed to explore other options before marrying me. What exactly did you think that meant? No response for 5 minutes. Then, can we please just talk face to face? This is too important for texts. There's nothing to talk about. You made yourself clear last night. So did I. Where are you? I'm coming over. I'm busy. Don't. I turned my phone off again. The rest of the day was productive. I started packing. Not everything, just the essentials. Clothes, documents, laptop, the stuff that mattered. I'd deal with furniture and everything else later. By evening, I'd filled 6 boxes and had a plan. The Denver interview would probably go well. Even if it didn't, I had enough saved to make a move work. I'd been contributing to our wedding fund for months. That money was still in my personal account. She'd been saving too, but separately. At least that wouldn't be complicated. Around 8, someone knocked on the door. I looked through the peephole. Her. I didn't open it. She knocked again. I know you're in there. Your car's outside. Please, just open the door. I stayed quiet. This is ridiculous. We're adults. We can talk about this. After 5 minutes of knocking, she left. My phone buzzed with another text. From her mother this time. Honey, she told me what happened. She's very upset. I think you two just need to communicate better. Pre-wedding stress affects everyone differently. Please give her a chance to explain properly. I didn't respond. Tomorrow, I had an interview that could change everything. Tonight, I had packing to finish. The old me might have second-guessed this. Wondered if I was being too harsh, too absolute. But the old me hadn't been told by his fiancée that she needed to shop around before committing. The new me knew exactly what he was doing. The Denver interview went better than expected. They offered me the position on the spot. 15% salary increase, relocation assistance, start date flexible. I accepted immediately. I had 2 weeks to wrap up my current job and get out of town. Plenty of time. She didn't know any of this yet. As far as she knew, I was just angry and needed space. She kept texting throughout the day, alternating between apologetic and accusatory. I'm sorry if I hurt you. That wasn't my intention. You're being incredibly unfair right now. My friends all think you're overreacting. Please just talk to me. I didn't respond to any of it. On Thursday evening, she used her key to let herself into the place. I was in the bedroom, half-packed boxes everywhere. She stood in the doorway, taking in the scene. Her face went white. What are you doing? Moving. Moving? Moving where? Denver. Denver? Since when? Since Tuesday. Got a job offer. Accepted it. I start in 2 weeks. She stepped into the room, looking around like she was searching for proof this wasn't happening. You can't just move across the country because we had a fight. This wasn't a fight. You told me you needed to see other people before marrying me. I took you seriously. I never said see other people. Why do you keep saying that? Fine. Explore other options. Same thing. It's not the same thing at all. I was talking about being sure. About not having regrets. I folded another shirt, placed it in the box. And I'm making sure I don't have regrets either. Funny how that works. This is insane. You canceled our wedding. Our entire wedding. Do you know how humiliating that is for me? I stopped packing and looked at her directly. Humiliating for you? You asked me to wait around while you figured out if I was good enough. And somehow I'm the bad guy here. That's not what I asked. Then what exactly did you ask? Use clear words. She struggled for a moment. I asked for understanding, for patience, for you to acknowledge that getting married is scary and sometimes people need reassurance. By exploring other options. Stop saying it like that. That's what you said. Your exact words. I need to explore other options to be sure about you. I was confused. I was scared. Everyone kept asking me if I was sure, and it got in my head. Who's everyone? My friends. Zoe and Maya. They were just looking out for me. By telling you to test drive other men before committing to me. Her face flushed. They didn't say it like that. How did they say it? They said I should be certain. That I shouldn't settle. That I deserve to know what I'm choosing. And apparently I'm something you need to compare to other options before deciding if I'm worth it. You're twisting everything. I went back to packing. I'm not twisting anything. I'm just taking you at your word. She sat on the edge of the bed. What about the venue? The photographer? Everything we planned. All canceled. Got refunds on most of it. You canceled everything? Without even talking to me. You told me you weren't sure about marrying me. What was there to talk about? I didn't say I wasn't sure about you. I said I wanted to be sure. Same thing. It's not. I sealed up the box, grabbed a marker, wrote bedroom on the side. Here's what I know. When I decided to propose, I was sure. I didn't need to explore other options. I didn't need to test the market. I knew you were who I wanted. If you didn't feel that way about me, then we shouldn't get married. Pretty simple. Past tense. You said knew, not no. Yeah, I did. Tears started forming in her eyes. So that's it. 3 years together, and you're just done? You're the one who said you needed to explore other options. I'm giving you that freedom. I don't want freedom. I want you. Now you do. After I canceled everything and started moving on. Convenient timing. That's not fair. Fair? You know what's not fair? Planning a life with someone who's not sure enough about you to commit without shopping around first. She was full on crying now. Please. I made a mistake. I was listening to the wrong people. I wasn't thinking clearly. That's the problem. You weren't thinking clearly 3 weeks before our wedding. That tells me everything I need to know. I love you. I loved you too. But love isn't enough when you're not sure on what you want. I'm sure. I'm sure now. I picked up another box, carried it toward the living room. She followed me. You're sure now because I'm leaving. Not because you chose me. There's a difference. What can I do? Tell me what to do to fix this. I set the box down by the door, turned to face her. Nothing. There's nothing to fix. You showed me who you are and what you think of me. I believe you. I showed you I'm human. That I have doubts and fears like everyone else. No. You showed me that I'm not enough for you without comparing me to other options first. And I'm not interested in being with someone who sees me that way. She wiped her eyes. So you're really leaving. I'm really leaving. When? Week and a half. Maybe less. She stood there for a long moment, then walked to the door. Hand on the knob, she turned back. I hope you find what you're looking for. I already did. And then she told me she needed to explore other options to be sure about me. She left without another word. I locked the door behind her and got back to packing. The call started on Friday morning. First her mother, then her father, then her sister Tracy, then her friends Zoe and Maya. Everyone had an opinion about what I was doing wrong. Her mother was emotional. She made a mistake. Don't you think you're being a little harsh? She loves you. This is just cold feet. Every bride goes through this. Not every bride asks to see other men 3 weeks before the wedding. She didn't ask to see other men. She was just expressing her fears. By saying she needed to explore other options to be sure about me. You're taking it too literally. She was scared. Marriage is a big step. I agree. Which is why I'm glad we figured this out before the wedding instead of after. She started crying. Please don't do this to our family. We love you. We think of you as a son. I appreciate that. But your daughter doesn't think of me as someone she's sure about. And I'm not going to marry someone who needs to comparison shop before committing. Her father was more direct. You're making a mistake. She's a good woman. You're throwing away something genuine over pride. It's not about pride. It's about self-respect. Same thing. No, it's not. Pride is refusing to admit when you're wrong. Self-respect is refusing to accept being treated as optional. She didn't treat you as optional. She literally said she needed other options. That's the definition of treating someone as optional. He sighed. You're being stubborn. Maybe, but I'd rather be stubborn than be someone's backup plan. Tracy was the worst. You know she looks up to you, right? She thinks you're this perfect guy who has everything figured out. And now you're proving you're just like every other guy who runs when things get hard. Things got hard. She asked to date other people. She didn't ask to date other people. God, why does everyone keep saying that? Because that's what exploring other options means. It means she was scared and needed reassurance. Reassurance that I'm better than whoever else is out there. No thanks. You're being selfish. Selfish? I'm selfish because I won't wait around while she figures out if I'm good enough. You're selfish because you're only thinking about your feelings. Not hers. Not our family's. Just yours. You're right. I am thinking about my feelings. Because apparently, I'm the only one who was. She hung up on me. Then came Zoe and Maya, the friends who'd apparently planted this whole idea in her head. Zoe called first. Hey, so I heard what happened. I feel like maybe there's been a misunderstanding. No misunderstanding. She told me she needed to explore other options before marrying me. I told her to go ahead. Pretty straightforward. Okay, but we were just trying to make sure she wasn't settling. You know? She's only been with 3 guys her whole life. We just wanted her to be sure. And now she can be. She's free to date whoever she wants. That's not what she wants, though. Funny. That's exactly what she said she wanted on Tuesday night. She was just talking, working through her feelings. You weren't supposed to actually end things. What was I supposed to do? Smile and nod while she goes on dates with other men to see if I measure up? It wouldn't have been dates. Just talking to people, seeing what's out there. And what exactly is the difference? She didn't have an answer for that. Maya was more aggressive. You know you completely humiliated her, right? Everyone knows the wedding's canceled. She's devastated. She humiliated herself when she told me I wasn't enough without comparison. That's not what she said. Then what did she say? Because I was there. I heard every word. She said she wanted to be sure. That's not the same as saying you're not enough. If you have to explore other options to be sure about someone, then they're not enough for you. That's basic logic. You're being ridiculous. People have doubts. It's normal. And when people have doubts 3 weeks before their wedding, they should call it off. Which is exactly what I did. She doesn't want it called off. She should have thought about that before she told me she needed to see what else was out there. Maya's voice turned sharp. You know what? Maybe she was right to have doubts. Maybe you're not as great as everyone thinks you are. Maybe. She's welcome to find out by dating other people. Like she wanted. She hung up too. My own friends were split. Emmett thought I did the right thing. Man, if someone's not sure about you 3 weeks before the wedding, they're never going to be sure. You dodged a bullet. Lincoln disagreed. Everyone gets cold feet. You're being too absolute about this. Give her some time. She'll come around, and you guys can work it out. I don't want her to come around. She showed me how she sees me. I believe her. You're going to regret this. Maybe, but I'd regret marrying her more. By Saturday afternoon, I'd heard from 14 different people, all with opinions, all telling me what I should do. None of them had been sitting across from her when she said she needed to explore other options. None of them had to live with being someone's maybe. I finished packing and booked my moving truck for Tuesday morning. Denver was looking better every day. Sunday morning, I was loading boxes into my car when she showed up again. This time she looked different. No makeup, eyes red and swollen, wearing sweatpants and one of my old college hoodies. I found out where you're going, she said. Your friend Emmett told Tracy. Okay, Denver, you're actually going through with it. I told you I was. She leaned against my car. I talked to a therapist. Yesterday, emergency session. I kept loading boxes. Good for you. She said I was self-sabotaging, that I was scared of being happy, so I created a crisis to test if you'd fight for me. Congratulations. You got your answer. That's not fair. I didn't know that's what I was doing. It was subconscious. I stopped and looked at her. So your defense is that you subconsciously tried to destroy our relationship to see if I'd tolerate it? When you say it like that, it sounds terrible. It is terrible. That's the point. But I didn't mean to. The therapist said it's a pattern from my childhood. My dad left when I was 7. I have abandonment issues. And I have self-respect issues. As in, I have self-respect. Which means I'm not going to be your emotional punching bag while you work through your childhood trauma. Her voice cracked. So you don't care at all? 3 years meant nothing. They meant everything. Right up until you told me I wasn't enough without comparison shopping. I never said you weren't enough. You said you needed to explore other options to be sure about me. What part of that says I'm enough? She was crying again. I don't know how to fix this. Tell me what to do. There's nothing to do. You showed me where I stand with you. I'm the guy you need to compare to other options before deciding if I'm worth marrying. That's not a position I'm interested in holding. But I don't want other options. I want you. You want me now? After I called your bluff and started moving on. Where was this certainty on Tuesday night? She didn't answer. That's what I thought. I closed the trunk, grabbed my keys. Where are you going? Goodwill. Donating stuff I don't need anymore. Can we please just sit down and talk? Properly? Without you running away. I'm not running away. I'm running towards something better. There's a difference. Better than me? Better than being with someone who sees me as a backup plan. She blocked my car door. I'm begging you. Please don't leave like this. Give me a chance to prove I've changed. You haven't changed. You got caught. There's a difference. That's not true. Really? If I hadn't canceled everything and started moving, would you be here right now? Or would you still be exploring your options? She hesitated just long enough to prove my point. That's what I thought, I said again. Move, please. I love you. I know. But love without respect is worthless. And you don't respect me enough to be sure about me without testing the market first. I do respect you. No, you don't. If you did, you never would have asked for what you asked for. I got in my car. She stood there watching as I backed out of the driveway. In my rearview mirror, I could see her standing alone in the street, getting smaller and smaller. Part of me felt bad. The part that remembered 3 years of mostly good times. The part that remembered why I fell in love with her in the first place. But a bigger part of me felt relieved, like I'd dodged something that would have destroyed me slowly over years instead of quickly over days. Monday was my last day at work. My boss was understanding. Denver's a good move for you. Better opportunity. Can't blame you for taking it. My coworkers threw me an impromptu going away lunch. Nobody mentioned the canceled wedding. They knew. Small office. Word travels. But they were polite enough not to bring it up. Emmett pulled me aside after lunch. You doing okay? I mean genuinely. Yeah, I am. No regrets. About what? Not marrying someone who wasn't sure she wanted to marry me. Fair point. I keep waiting to feel worse about this. But I don't. I feel lighter. Like I put down something heavy I'd been carrying without noticing. That's probably a good sign. Or I'm in denial. Or, Emmett said, you made the right call and your gut knows it. That night, I got a long email from her. Pages of it. Explaining her feelings, her fears, her regrets. Apologizing for everything. Promising she'd changed. Begging for another chance. I read the whole thing. Then I read it again. Then I deleted it and blocked her email address. Tuesday morning, the moving truck arrived at 7. By noon, everything I owned was loaded up. The furniture I'd bought before we moved in together, I sold to the new tenant. The furniture she'd bought, I left. I did a final walkthrough of the empty place. 3 years of my life had happened in these rooms. Good memories mixed with bad ones. But none of it mattered anymore. I locked the door, dropped the keys in the landlord's mailbox, and climbed into my car. My phone buzzed. Her mother. Please call me. We need to talk about this. You're making a terrible mistake. I didn't respond. I put my phone on silent, programmed Denver into my GPS, and started driving. 12 hours and 4 states later, I pulled into a hotel parking lot in Kansas. Halfway there, I checked my phone. 43 missed calls. 67 text messages. All from various combinations of her family, and her friends. I turned my phone off completely and slept better than I had in weeks. 6 months in Denver changed everything. The job was better than expected. Challenging work, good team, actual room for growth. I found a townhouse in a quiet neighborhood, nothing fancy but mine. Started hiking on weekends. Joined a climbing gym. Built a life that was just mine, not ours. I'd blocked her number after week 3 when the calls and texts were still coming daily. Blocked her family too. Her friends. Anyone connected to that chapter of my life. Then one Tuesday evening, my phone buzzed with a message from an unknown number. Hey, it's me. I know you blocked my other number. Please don't block this one. I need to talk to you. I stared at it for a minute, debating whether to respond at all. Against my better judgment, I replied. What do you want? 3 dots appeared immediately. She'd been waiting. I've been doing a lot of thinking. And therapy. Twice a week for the past 5 months. I've worked through a lot of my issues. The abandonment stuff. The self-sabotage patterns. I'm better now. Different. Good for you. I know I messed up. I know I hurt you. But I've grown. I've changed. And I realize now that you were right. About everything. Okay. I'm done exploring. I explored, and it was awful. Every guy I met just made me realize what I lost. You were the one. You are the one. I know that now. I sat back on my couch, processing what she'd just said. She'd actually done it. She'd actually gone out and explored her options like she said she needed to. So you dated other people. I tried. Yes. That's what you told me to do, remember? You said I should explore my options. I said you were free to. Not that you should. Same thing. It's not. But whatever. How'd that work out for you? Terrible. Nobody compared to you. Nobody made me feel the way you did. I made the biggest mistake of my life letting you go. I almost laughed. You didn't let me go. I left. There's a difference. Semantics. No, it's not semantics. You didn't give me up. I walked away because you told me you weren't sure I was enough without comparison shopping. I took you at your word. I was wrong. I know that now. You know that now because you tried shopping around and didn't find anything better. That's not the same as choosing me. But I am choosing you. Right now, I'm choosing you. I stood up, walked to my window. The Denver skyline was lit up against the dark sky. My life here was simple, peaceful, uncomplicated. Here's the thing, I said. When I proposed to you, I was certain. I didn't need to date other people to know you were what I wanted. I just knew. That's what real certainty looks like. I know. I understand that now. But you didn't understand it then. And the only reason you understand it now is because you went and tested the market and found out I was the best option available. That's not love. That's settling after shopping around. That's not fair. It's completely fair. You wanted to explore other options to be sure about me. You explored. You found out. Congratulations. But I'm not interested in being the guy you settled on after trying everyone else. I didn't try everyone else. I went on maybe 5 dates total, and they were all terrible. Only 5. That's it. You blew up a 3-year relationship and canceled our wedding for 5 dates. She was quiet for a moment. When you say it like that, it sounds pathetic. It is pathetic. You threw away something genuine because your friends convinced you that you might be missing out. And now that you've confirmed you weren't missing out on anything, you want to come back. But I'm not a backup plan. I'm not the safe option you return to after your adventure didn't work out. You're being cruel. I'm being honest. There's a difference. So that's it. You won't even consider giving us another chance. I thought about it. Genuinely considered it for maybe 10 seconds. Then I thought about the woman I'd met 3 weeks ago. Diana, a project manager at a tech company. Smart, funny, confident. We'd gotten coffee twice, dinner once. Nothing serious yet, but potential. More importantly, when I told her about my canceled wedding, her response had been immediate. If someone's not sure about you, they don't deserve you. No hesitation. No need to explore other options to know her own mind. No, I said, I won't consider it. Why not? Because you fundamentally changed how I see you. When you told me you needed to explore other options, you showed me that I was negotiable to you, that my value was dependent on comparison, and I can't unknow that. People make mistakes. People grow and change. They do, and I hope you have. I hope you find someone who makes you happy, but it's not going to be me. Is there someone else? That's not relevant. So there is. There's someone who knew she wanted to get to know me without needing to date other people first. Yeah, I could hear her crying on the other end. Part of me felt bad, the part that remembered loving her. But a bigger part of me felt free. I'm going to hang up now, I said. I wish you well. I mean that. But we're done. We've been done. And we're going to stay done. Wait. I ended the call, blocked the number, sat there for a minute, waiting to feel something. Regret, maybe. Second thoughts. Nothing came. I texted Diana. Hey, still up for that hiking trail on Saturday? She responded within a minute. Absolutely. Can't wait. I smiled, set my phone down, and looked back out at the Denver skyline. Somewhere back in my old city, my ex was probably crying, telling her friends I was heartless, painting herself as the victim. I didn't care. I'd learned something valuable from all of this. When someone shows you they're not sure about you, believe them the first time. Don't wait for them to figure it out. Don't wait for them to comparison shop. Just walk away and find someone who doesn't need to explore other options to know your worth. Life's too short to be someone's maybe. I was done being anyone's backup plan. And honestly, I'd never felt better.